What's up, guys? I'm Jack, and this is Daisy. And welcome to another video. So this is now my fourth time recording this voiceover. The first time was because it was all jumbled and in the wrong order. The second time was because it recorded using my camera's mic rather than my good mic. And the third time, well, you know what they say, third time's the charm, and it certainly was. I finished the voiceover. It was like 40 minutes long, and then I needed to get some extra footage for the video. So I went back to Assassin's Creed 2, and I played the intro. And then I realized that I was making a video on entirely the wrong subject. And if you were wondering, the original video I was going to do was basically asking if Ezio was the last good Assassin's Creed protagonist. But again, then I played through the intro of the game, and I never realized how perfect it was as an intro until now. So instead of doing an essay ranking the protagonists, which I'm sure a million content creators have done, we're going to do one going over why Assassin's Creed 2 has one of the most perfect introductions to a character in any video game ever. And let me know if that video is something that you'd want to see. I still have the voiceover, I would just need to edit it. So yeah, just leave a comment if you want to see that. Anyway, there may or may not be an Assassin's Creed Shadows challenge run releasing alongside this video, so go check that out. Link should be in the description or the top right hand corner of the screen. Without further ado, let's get started. First things first, I want to talk about my personal connection to the Assassin's Creed series, because these games mean a lot to me. Assassin's Creed 1 came out in 2007? Yeah, I had no idea it existed. I was 7, 8 years old around there, and I had no idea what it was. Fast forward 3 years later, I go to a GameStop with my dad, and I had just done some chores for him, so he was going to let me pick out a game. And in the used game section, I saw Assassin's Creed 1 for like $7. There was this really cool dude in a hood with a wrist blade. It looked epic, and I was sold right there. So I got the game and played through it, and I loved it. So imagine my joy when I found out that there was more than one Assassin's Creed game. As soon as I finished, I did more chores, made some more money, immediately asked my dad to go to the store, and we bought Assassin's Creed 2. And I can't tell you the impact that this game had on my life. Assassin's Creed 2, more than any other game, changed my life. Not only because it was a well-made game with a great story, but also because of Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Easily one of the greatest protagonists in gaming history. Ezio is smooth, he's confident, charismatic, capable, and kind. He was everything I wanted to be. He got the ladies, he went on adventures, he fought people, and he did parkour. Ezio was my idol, so much so that I wanted to be an assassin when I grew up. So the first steps I took to becoming an assassin were to learn how to do parkour just like Ezio. So I started training. I looked up videos on YouTube. I found a friend who wanted to learn it with me. Shout out to you, Corey. You the best. And nearly every day we would go to the playground and try to learn how to run up walls and climb things and safety rolls, butterfly kicks, all the parkour stuff. And shout out to Ronnie Street Stunts on YouTube. His tutorials helped us learn everything that we know now. And it was slow going. But eventually our training paid off. After years of playing on the playground, we finally got access to cars and driver's licenses. And we would use our newfound freedom to, well, we would put our skills to the test. We would go to different abandoned buildings around our state, and climb them, try to make parkour videos. We went to like 4 different abandoned insane asylums. Those were fun. I remember one night in particular, we just climbed up to the roof of a community college and we just sat up there and talked for a while. Middle of the night. Good times. So it's safe to say that Assassin's Creed shaped the entirety of my teenage years. And I will always be grateful for that. Anyway, let's get into why Assassin's Creed is so good. So of course the game starts out with us as Desmond. It's a continuation of the modern day storyline from the first Assassin's Creed. Turns out Lucy is a double agent and she's breaking us out. We grab some Animus data, sprint through Abstergo. Desmond learns that he can use eagle vision, fight a few guards, and then make it to the assassin hideout. You guys get the picture. I've always found this part boring, I still do, but we're not talking about this intro, we're talking about Ezio's intro. So finally, after what feels like an eternity, we can enter the new Animus. And this is where things start to get good. Now, the shots of Florence are great. They nailed the architecture and the skyline. It's truly beautiful. So already an A+ on the setting and the introduction to the world that we're going to be playing in. Also, I don't know if anybody here has been to Florence in real life, but nowadays, oof. I went there kind of expecting Assassin's Creed 2, and it was not Assassin's Creed 2. I was actually depressed for like 2 days afterwards. Anyway, we zoom in on some guys running towards some sort of event, and this is where we finally get to meet Ezio. And the camera slowly pans upward and zooms in on this man.
Insieme per la vittoria! Insieme!
And this is an important scene, because Ezio isn't just one of the guys. He's the leader. It shows that he's confident, not afraid to speak in front of a crowd. It shows that he's ready to lead, ready to fight for honor. So already the first scene of the game introduces us to Ezio and shows us that he is a natural leader.
Buonasera, Mia. We were just talking about you. I'm surprised to see you here. I thought the Pazzi hired others to do their dirty work.
Afraid to handle things yourself?
Your sister seemed quite satisfied with the handling I gave her earlier.
Next, we get to see how Ezio interacts with his enemies. From his interaction with Vieri, we can tell that Ezio has quite the sharp tongue. So we can kind of see his sense of humor a little bit here, as well as his arrogance. Or, I suppose, brashness is a better term. So already, within the first minute of his introduction, we see that Ezio's a good leader. He's confident, he's got a sharp tongue, but he's also a bit brash and arrogant. And already, those are a lot of character traits. Like, there are a lot of games and movies and TV shows out there where the protagonist doesn't even have that much character throughout the whole thing. Now, Ezio fights Vieri's men for a little bit, and his brother appears halfway through, challenging Ezio to see how many they can take on. They of course win the fight, and then we get to see Vieri running away like a codardo. And Ezio is ready to give chase, not thinking about the consequences of his actions. Once again, we get to see that he's a bit brash. So that part of the game introduced us to the character of Ezio, and it also taught us how to fight. It served multiple purposes, which a good scene should always do. So the next part, getting to the doctor, taught us how to do a little bit of free running. It both shows us the love between Federico and Ezio, while containing a tutorial on how to go to the doctor to heal your health and do some free running.
Fratelli Auditori, why am I not surprised? You made quite a mess of yourself, young man.
It's nothing, really.
You must help him. That pretty face is his only asset.
Fottiti.
And the last part of this intro until the title screen shows us how to climb as we beat Federico in a race to the top of the nearby church. And then we get one of the most beautiful intros to a game that also manages to foreshadow what's to come.
Come on, then. It is a good life we lead, brother.
The best. May it never change.
And may it never change us.
At least for me, this intro is very meaningful because it calls back to my earlier life when I did things just like this. This next section of the intro teaches us how to synchronize on a map, giving us a beautiful scene of Florence, as well as how to dive into haystacks, and how to hide from our enemies within these haystacks. It's like a 30-second series of events that teaches us how to do a number of things that are going to be important throughout the rest of our playthrough. So all this is to say that they did a really good job of compressing all the tutorials into a series of events that fits well within the story. Next up, Ezio visits Christina, and this shows us a bit more of his character. Again, I'm sure you guys can understand why a teenage me would want to be Ezio.
Not wrong. Come here.
So all of this happens within a single night. There are people out there that don't have this much adventure in their entire lives, and these misadventures seem like a nightly occurrence for Ezio. And we can tell that if we go back to an earlier scene with his brother.
Quite a night.
Indeed. I only wish they were all as much fun. Oh, wait. They are.
It is a good life we lead, brother.
The best. May it never change.
And may it never change us.
God, it just sets it up so perfectly. We can see that Ezio has this awesome life. And from that, it becomes pretty clear that something's about to happen. We have no idea what, but we start to get the inkling that his life is about to change. Ezio works with his father, so he goes back home to get to work, and his father both scolds him and
It reminds me of myself when I was your age.
relates to him. And aside from this, we get to see more of Ezio's character here.
With your work today.
No, padre. Avete la mia parola.
I assume many of you can't speak Italian, and some of you might not be watching the video, so I'll read the subtitle. His father asked if his misadventures would interfere with his work, and Ezio said, "No, father, they will not. You have my word." This shows us that even though Ezio is a bit of a scoundrel, he also has a very strong work ethic, and he's happy to do what he can to help his family. And we get to see more of that in the coming missions. He helps his sister by beating up Duccio, her boyfriend, who is very clearly cheating on her. And although violence isn't always the answer, we do get to see how protective Ezio is of his sister and how much he cares for her.
You'll regret ever opening your mouth. Stay away from my sister!
We also get to see him help out his brother Petruchio, who, the game's words, not mine, has a weak constitution. He was sick from birth and never fully recovered. But when talking to Petruchio, Ezio seems like a very caring and understanding big brother, so he goes and collects feathers for him. Finally, we get to see how he interacts with his mother. And they joke a bit, they're a little bit sarcastic, but he is respectful, polite, and seems genuinely happy to help her. And how a man treats his mother should tell you a lot about that. So it's important that he is polite and kind. She asks for his help, and he says, with pleasure. And even though we don't speak Italian, we can kind of tell that Ezio was being completely earnest when he said that. And the dialogue while they walk is pretty important too. His mother gives Ezio a newfound perspective on the De Pazzis, you know, the guys he got into a fight with last night. Vieri's father is on trial for murder, and Ezio's mother kind of suggests that, well, Vieri's probably having a really tough time with it, and Ezio should try to be a little bit more understanding, and no family deserves to go through that. So already from the start, he's kind of being taught how to show sympathy and empathy towards his enemies. It's a nice scene. And then of course we meet Leonardo da Vinci, who is just great. He's one of the best characters from this trilogy. And in this scene, Ezio's mom is like, "Wow, isn't he so talented?" And Ezio's like, "Yeah, he's alright." Which I know seems like a small thing, but it does show us that Ezio is still a human. He's not perfect.
Very talented.
Immagino.
Self-expression.
He still gets jealous of the slight praise that is awarded to others. He's human. So this is the part of the game where we kind of have everything that we need to know about Ezio so far. His first scene gave us an intro to his character being charismatic, being a leader, being brash. He's capable and athletic, a ladies' man, and deeply polite, as well as appreciative of the beautiful life that he leads. And the rest of the intro kind of reinforces what we know about him as a character. There are more scenes that show his politeness, his willingness to help, his intelligence, his athleticism, wit, and charm, all that good stuff. So the game starts to introduce us to the next plot point. We get a quest a little bit earlier on where we have to deliver a letter for Ezio's father, and we kind of learn that something urgent is going on and that it has to do with Lorenzo de Pazzi. Then we get this scene.
Yes.
Were you followed?
No. Why would I be followed?
Give me the package. Tell your father that they're moving tonight. He should as well.
Who's moving? What's going on here?
So we can tell that something is going on. All we know is that something is going to happen tonight, and so far the documents we've been delivering have to do with Lorenzo de Pazzi. So it seems like there's a mystery afoot. We deliver another letter to Little Fanfare and then pick up a letter from a carrier pigeon. Also watch Wendigoon's video on carrier pigeons, super good. And in my dozen or so playthroughs, I've actually never used the contextual camera, so I didn't know that you can see guards running right to the Auditore's villa. We make it back home and realize that the family has been taken. So it's up to Ezio to figure out what happened and to save his family. Ezio climbs the prison to speak to his father to figure out what to do next because he needs some direction. and he's told to grab the letters in his father's secret room and deliver them to Mr. Uberto, the Gonfaloniere. Because this is all a conspiracy, and with the proof, Ezio's family should be released. So Ezio goes home and does just that, using his eagle vision to open the secret door and grabbing the set of assassin gear as well as the documents. This is where he dons his father's assassin outfit, takes his weapons, and prepares to deliver the letter. And again, here we can see that Ezio is willing to do anything to help his family. And yeah, again, I need to applaud the writers because they did hint to this happening. They foreshadowed a big change in Ezio's life from the early dialogue between him and his brother. And they laid the little hints from his father's involvement in the De Pazzi trial to some of the recipients of Giovanni's letter, telling them to maybe get out of town for the night. It set the stage for a mystery that, if we were paying attention, we could kind of put together. And we even get one more little hint coming up, a hint about the overarching plot of the game. And it's something that the developers clearly wanted you to see, but not something that they would truly reveal for a little while. And I like how they did it. When Ezio goes to deliver the letters to Uberto with the evidence in it, a few things happen. First, we get to see more of his character. He is stressed, he is worried, he is anxious about his family. He is showing human traits and characteristics. He doesn't know what to do, he's just doing his best to help his father. And again, they did a great job of showing his humanity. But also, you see a man in the background. He's only there for a second, it's just a quick glimpse of a hooded figure. But you can tell that he was purposefully put there.
A misunderstanding, Ezio. I'll clear everything up.
How?
The documents you've given.
And I want you to watch Uberto's eyes as he closes the door. This is a small detail that's either intended or not, but I'm gonna go with it's intended. He looks over, almost in deference, to the hooded figure that walks past the door. I think it's just a small hint of who this hooded figure might be, but go ahead and watch his eyes. I do think that was intended to show that Uberto was looking to the hooded figure for guidance. Anyway, it's not long before we get the reveal that we all know is coming. The mission objective is attend the acquittal. So we go to attend it. We see Uberto and the hooded figure standing up, and Ezio's family about to be hanged. And when confronted about the evidence that Ezio delivered to him the previous night, he says that he received no such evidence. Like, imagine thinking that your family thought you failed them, and it's your fault that they are going to die. This part is never stated in the game, but that's how I would feel if I was in Ezio's situation. I would always feel guilty that they thought I failed them. Again, that's just a theory. Okay. No, we're not doing that. After his family is executed, Ezio charges up and breaks free of the guard, headstrong, with nothing to lose, ready to fight everybody, and he immediately gets beaten. But thank God Ezio is a fan of Black Ops Zombies, otherwise he might have been screwed in this situation.
Run, boy. Fast.
All my years of training are finally paying off. But he does manage to escape. The last surviving man of the Auditore family. And this is where the first sequence ends. This intro sequence did such a great job of setting up who Ezio is as a character, while also teaching us the mechanics of the game. It also sets up future plot points and gives us an enemy. The first thing we want to do is fight Uberto after this and kill him. And then maybe we'll figure out who that hooded man was. Now, that's all I got for you guys today, but if you want to see me cover the rest of what makes this game so good, let me know in the comments down below and I would be more than happy to. Thank you for watching this far. If you have made it, if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I would love to do this more than just once a month. And in order to get there, I need more subscribers so I can make a little bit more money so I can do this as a part-time job. So if you want to subscribe, that would be great. If not, that is totally okay. Your viewership is always enough for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.